Howdy, howdy.
Hi, how's the dog?
Hi.
Dog
I,
good?
I'm Casey Kasem.
He's fine. He didn't need to go out. He was just crying because it's thundering, so I gave him some food.
Is it raining, or just thundering?
Well, it rained. It rained like cats and dogs right
It
before the
did.
show, and
Well,
now it's just thundering.
that's something because I ain't seen rain in a long time.
Yeah.
And I sure think we could use it down here in Georgia.
We did yard work on Monday, and like I was yellow. Like I
Yeah.
had a
Text
dusting
text
of
it too,
yellow
Dustin.
all over
Okay.
me.
Yeah, I did yard work on, when was it? Monday. And then Monday night, I had a killer headache because I was blowing shit everywhere. Like the
Yep,
leaf.
same. Yeah. Like pollen usually doesn't affect me, but I got like really, really sleepy. Is that like a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's poppies.
You're
Yeah.
out of
Puppies,
the
puppies,
woods.
puppies.
You're out of the woods. You're out of the. What are we going to
Okay,
talk
we're good
about?
to go.
We're good to go. Hey, welcome to the live. And if you're watching it later, welcome to the live. Radio's in the dark. We don't really have a topic today, nor do we have a guest. And I think in the next couple of ones of these we do, we have to bring in one of the Radio Labyrinth producers, executive producers. Um, but yes, it's good to be back and doing the live show. Doing the live show. I'm Casey Kasem, and you can watch this show on YouTube if you're not here live. And it's open to everybody, and you don't even have to be a Patreon member to watch it. I'm just going to talk like this for the rest of the show. I finished Black House, um, and I hadn't listened to it since it first came out. A couple weeks ago, I started listening to the Talisman, and then I said, well, I'll just go right into Black House, and then I'll have to wait now until the fall, like everybody else, for the third book. And I remember liking it more now than I did the first time.
Oh, really? I should go back and re-listen. Is that maybe your age?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it is. And plus, I listened to it. Well, I guess I listened to the Talisman in the 90s, but I didn't like it all that much. I remember. And it was good because it was like it was new to me because I'd forgotten so many things. But I did like it. The only thing that really kind of it didn't bother me, but you know that not a spoiler alert, but you know when uh, Jack flips over and Parkus is there and he's yelling at him, you got to hurry up, and he's like dressed like a gunslinger,
Mhm.
and they wedge in all that Dark Tower lore in one chapter. And it
Yeah.
just felt out of place. I don't care that they're connected. Believe me, I don't. I love it. But I kind of like those stories existing as their own with like, oh, like this is a side world to mid world.
Right.
And it just felt a little weird to me. And I had totally forgotten the ending, and that was a nice surprise. And I'm not spoiling that for anybody.
Yeah, Stephen King always said that the territories was in Midworld.
I know, but in the first book, it wasn't, it just felt
They
like it.
didn't beat you over the head with it.
Right. And they did beat you over the head with it in Dark and Black House.
Honestly, when the Talisman came out, I don't think he had gotten that far into. I mean, how far into the tower? What were we when the Talisman came out? What was left?
Yeah,
Before?
Yeah, I mean, after the Talisman came out, you still had what, two, three books of the
yeah.
Dark Tower to come out?
Yeah, I don't think Drawing of the Three came out before it.
Because
Did it?
that would, I mean, that may have been part of it. It's just the lore wasn't in stone.
Shit, no, The Drawing of the Three is the second book, and that came out in 1987. The Talisman had already been out. So yeah, you're completely
Yeah,
right. But I am looking forward to the third book. The third book will probably be all Dark Tower.
yeah, I'm sure it'll have a lot more in it.
And since Jack is in the territories, I'm assuming that he's going to be something like a gunslinger, perhaps. I'm reading all the speculation on Reddit. People are like, "Oh, it's gonna have Jake will be there, and Jake and Eddie and Susanna." I don't think they're gonna be there,
Mm, I can, I can see the possibility just for the circle, but
or that it's another
yeah, another trip.
later run through for
Yeah.
Roland, and he'll have the horn and all that. But I am looking forward to that.
Hmm.
And I started listening to the next to last John Dies at the End, Jason Pargin book. And again, I can't follow the narrator because he doesn't do character voices.
That's crazy. I was telling Jeff, have you seen John Dies at the End, the movie recently?
Not recently. Well, yeah, I watched it a couple months ago. Yeah.
Did you notice that the actor that's playing David Wong,
Hmm.
his cadence is Jason Bergen's cadence when he
Huh?
speaks? Yeah,
Yes.
that was
Yeah.
crazy. How much? If you the first part of that movie, because they do the whole explaining the hatchet at the beginning,
Mhm.
and that sounds like one of his videos. That first little 2 minutes. It's
Well, I had
crazy.
to watch it on my phone because I couldn't find it. I didn't want to pay for it, so I just found it on a legal
Right.
streaming.
Roby wants to know what he's missed.
Tonight,
Yeah,
we've
he
been
just got here.
talking about Stephen King and the
Yeah.
Talisman series. Um, but I want to get a copy of it and watch it. I need to get a DVD player.
Yeah, it's becoming a big thing again. It's like vinyl.
I want Gilbert, our son, to not have so much control over the television because he gets into YouTube and it's I want to watch this and I want to watch this and it's Peppa Pig and then the violent videos or cars falling into water. I want to restrict it to a degree.
Yeah. With our kids at the time, even with physical media at the time, it was the same. I mean, I bet we bought three different Finding Nemo DVDs because we
Oh yeah,
just burned them up. It just played them so much. They'd get the little ring
but
on
you
the
still have
disc.
that opening the thing, taking the DVD out, putting it in the player, and when it's over, it's over.
And it
You know?
being like a long form.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't stand that short. Yeah, that's right. And
Or
I do it too, like with TikTok and stuff. I'm
Oh
scrolling,
yeah, we all do.
having
and
the
it's,
or
yeah,
having
else.
the menu screen with the
Yeah.
music just playing
Yeah,
on a
Hmm.
loop when you're done with it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's one box set of Aquatine that has some very annoying music, and I remember being drunk and hungover or something, and it was on because I fell asleep watching it. It was just do 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 out of that, so I just dealt with it.
I lived in a it was a house behind like a plantation house. So it was like a redone slave quarters house. I lived by
Right.
myself and I had this tiny TV that had a DVD player, I guess.
The
Yeah,
combo.
my sister bought me a DVD player and the only thing I had was Aqua Teen Hunger Force box set.
Hmm. So you had the same experience?
nice.
Yes. So yeah, I watched that over and over and over. And like that was my only form of media if I was at home by
Right.
myself.
Yeah,
Oh,
my
go
first
ahead.
college apartment, we didn't get cable because it was too expensive. But I had tapes and tapes of episodes of The Simpsons, of Cheers, and I had a VCR, so I just watched those over. We just watched Cheers.
Yeah.
Smoke a joint, watch Cheers reruns.
I watched the new Anaconda thing.
Oh, how
Saw
was
that in the theater over Christmas.
Oh, did you
Was it
see it in the
good?
theater? Oh, okay.
it's on
It
Netflix,
Yeah, it was
right?
pretty funny. Yeah, it's
yeah,
not. It's out on Netflix now.
it's on Netflix now. I mean, it is pretty funny. I mean, it's exactly what you would think it would be. A bunch of friends that made movies when they were kids and
Yeah,
they want to redo their favorite movie.
Hey, I'll be
But
right back.
you could tell it was one of those things where they were just it was a vehicle
yeah,
for them.
That's Jack Black, right?
yeah. And
Yeah,
Paul Rudd,
and Paul Rudd
Okay.
and
Ice Cube.
yeah, Ice Cube shows up, J Lo
Isn't he in
shows
the
up.
original one?
Yeah,
Never
Yeah,
mind.
and
Yeah,
that's
okay.
that's it's very meta in that they're out there trying to remake Anaconda, and then while they're out there, there's another group from Sony that's actually rebooting Anaconda. So yeah, it's weird.
Roby says he went to sleep every night to either Princess Bride or The Fifth Element.
Yeah, I did the Fifth Element one, watching it over and over again for a couple of years.
My nephew and his girl or fiance tried to argue with me that The Princess Bride wasn't a comedy.
How is it not a comedy?
I guess like so he's 10 years younger than me, right? I
Okay.
actually bought him Princess Bride on his 10th birthday and he was having his friends over and they all watched it and they loved it. And I was like, how do you not? and we were talking about it. I guess it was over. It was in February,
Mhm.
and I was like, "How is that not a comedy?" And they're like, "That's just not comedy to us." So
The
I guess
age,
like their version of comedy is more like it's not subtle.
yeah.
But I don't even feel like a Princess Bride is subtle. Like it's
Well,
obviously a comedy.
yeah, but it's also a lot of the things that we, because it had nostalgia in it to begin with, like growing
Hmm.
up, reading fairy tales and having them read to you, and this one was one that kind of took a different route. But yeah, I could see how a younger generation, and I've watched reactors who are, yeah, 10, 20 years younger, watch it and still they hit all the beats. They laugh at the big
Yeah.
jokes. But for the most part, a lot of them, they pick out like, oh, that's Wesley. Like right when you first see Dread Pirate Roberts, they're like, oh, that's him. And it's
Yeah.
like as kids, you were like, oh, it's him. But yeah, I
I mean,
don't
he
think,
loved when he was 10, he was like, it was the same reaction that Fred Savage had.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's like, oh, this is a girl movie. And then they watched it and they loved it. But for him to say it's not a comedy, I was like, who are you
Which
related
movie?
to?
Princess Bride.
Princess Bride.
Oh, sorry, false alarm. I don't keep talking. I didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry.
When we were talking earlier, like about the Supergirl trailer, my daughter, I watched it and she was in there with me watching it, and I would say she's 17, going to be 17. So she's definitely from a different generation more, and the difference I've noticed between her generation and ours is like everything from when they were born has been like at school and everything else, everything with the internet and social media is you have to prove everything. Everything's a competition. Everything is putting your image out there and then getting berated, like we did as kids, but publicly in front of everyone.
Yeah.
I asked her, I was like, it seems like your generation is always, it's very black and white. There's no middle ground. You have to, like, they were talking about this Gen Z or um, slang, and how they're cringing at slang that they created, like the skibbity doo
Is that
toilet
Gen
thing.
Z or is that Gen Alpha?
Gen Z and that straddles the line, but
Yeah, I think it definitely spills over to Gen
but
Alpha
but
for
the
sure.
things that, like, when we were younger and something went out of fashion, we just moved on to the next thing and knew that everyone used it. It was embarrassing for everybody, and you just kind of moved on. But with this, they have to distance themselves from it, like tell people that that's not the person that I am now. And
Okay.
yeah, so it's
See,
really
it's
strange to look at Gen X versus the younger generation, where we always say, oh well, there is
seems
no oh
exhausting.
well with them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And to your point, they're constantly having to fight for their presence on things like Instagram and TikTok.
right. Yeah,
There's a
it's always, it's
or
never an ongoing, it's never stops. It's always,
the
they can't look back at themselves like we could and say, oh, that was embarrassing. And we can laugh about it that it was embarrassing. With them, they're like, they must tell you that I'm not that person anymore. And
did
it's
you
so weird.
That's
did you listen
sad.
to the episodes of Fun for All Ages with the guys talking about Godzilla and King Kong?
Yeah.
One of those guys, I don't remember who, made a very good point about the younger generation today. We all grew up with one culture, and I've been saying this for a long time. It was a monoculture where we all experienced the same things, whether it was music, television, or movies. And he was talking about, I think he was talking to a kid, explaining why a kid now had no interest in seeing the Han Solo movie, the Solo movie, because that kid only knows, like millennials know the prequels, and even younger, they know the abysmal sequels. But they only see they see Han Solo as an old man who got killed by his dad or by his son,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they don't care about young Han Solo. And it's our generation and the one above us a little bit that are still around, and just maybe older guys, Gen X, and some millennials that have this desire to keep pumping out shit from the monoculture. And kids today, they have a million different things they can look at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not interested in a long story. They're not building oh, do you remember that Skibbity toilet? Oh yeah, that was great. Nobody's going to remember that in 5 years.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was.
when Bella was in middle school, uh, I remember explaining to Jones, like, hey, do you remember how much like middle school sucked? Or like
Mm.
somebody would make a comment and like it would make you feel awful
Yeah.
and like it would make you cringe all day. Like it was just it's just not like it's a hard time, right? I was like, we could leave it at school and come home and be separate from that. But she's carrying it around in her pocket.
Right.
Like
Right.
it's gotta be it's a tough way to grow up.
Yeah. Well, and the part that's scary is to grow up that way and to have that kind of mentality. You either fold to it and
Hmm.
and become, to stay out of the spotlight, to stay away from it, or even worse is when you get past it or you feel that you did a good job, well then you overcompensate that. You make it, you put a title, or you put all these, um you know you think you deserve all this credit for it,
Right.
like and you don't. It's just something that in life we had stages that we would go through and we don't think about them, but for them every obstacle they come up in life, they have to either accomplish something and show everyone or hide from it.
And
Yeah.
it's documented.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
get it's all documented.
So I mean, I get, like, talking to my daughter, I get the fact that they don't like some things that we liked, but they also don't appreciate anything even of theirs like we do,
Yeah.
because to them it's just another step. It's just another, did I like it or did I not like it? If I didn't like it, I want everyone to know that I didn't like it now, so that later when no one likes it, I can say that
I
I
didn't
was
like it
yeah, I
first.
didn't like it.
Yeah.
I was,
Yeah.
that wasn't me. It's
I just feel
scary.
like it's like, hey, kids, be narcissistic. Here you go.
Yeah.
Like we're just force feeding them narcissism.
And think about Millie Alcock doing that interview with Variety, where she has to say those things that they all have to say now.
Hmm.
The negative marketing or whatever, or they don't want women playing a woman. But she's on social media, so she's seeing constantly, you suck, you suck, you
Yeah.
suck, or I don't like this, or I don't like that. And every entertainer now that's on social media and that's active on social media, like looking at their own accounts and doing their own stuff. Oh, by the way, Paul McCartney he posted something in the Paul McCartney subreddit and got banned. The real Paul
Nice.
McCartney. Then they let him back in. But anyway, so they have to stop looking at that shit. When we were kids, we weren't going to the GI Joe subreddit or the the Ricky Schroeder Twitter account or Instagram account going, you suck and your shows suck. You were lucky to meet a celebrity back then. You weren't interacting with them. You had to write them a letter. And they got a lot of letters because people are nuts. And people still get letters because people are nuts. But now that letter can come from an anonymous face instantaneously on social media. And that's terrible that they have to deal with this. But you don't have to if you're not looking at it.
Yeah.
So I was a late bloomer. I was also a little bit of a tomboy.
Mhm.
So somebody had written on the back of Ingalls in Lilburn, Georgia, Liz B is a lesbo. Liz B is a lesbian. FUCK.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you just made me important. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm a lesbian bee.
Like,
I drove
what an
everybody
insult.
by it.
Oh no.
Hey, have you driven by the back of the
Yeah,
building?
no, it was there for like I mean like at least 20, 25 years
Yeah.
before they got rid of it. So yeah, I even took I mean when me and my ex-husband were dating, I was like, "Let me show you something cool.
Wow.
Let's go to the back of Ingalls."
Roby,
Somebody really didn't like Elizabeth Taylor.
I don't know
Right.
what the context was, but Roby says when he was a little kid, he was taking a bath. He accidentally unscrewed the faucet while he was in the bathtub, and he ran screaming through the house naked. His parents had people over playing cards.
Oh
Oh,
no.
That
That's pretty funny.
That is
is
funny. My dad used to teach CCD, which is like religious ed for Catholics.
Mm-hmm.
And he taught a group of boys on Wednesday nights, but he would do it at the house. And I was very little. And my sisters used to dare me to run in there and moon them and say, Mika hi, hole. And I would do it. I didn't get in trouble, but my sisters did. But
yeah. Well, they should have for putting you up to it. I used to
yeah.
make my little brother, I would do prank phone calls and I would make him talk and say swear words. And then I remember we did it and they got the number and they called back I was at his grandparents. It was my step grandparents in New York State, Rochester, New York. And they kept calling back and threatening. And he was 4, so he wasn't scared or anything.
Oh,
I was. And then one time, well, I should have known better. I must have been in my late 20s. My friend Larry was visiting from wherever he was living. He wasn't living in New York where he lives now, but he was visiting, and we got on one of those chat lines. You know, those chat lines that you used to see in Creative Loafing. Connect live now.
oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, like a party line.
Party line at Quest. And I did a female voice so I could get on for free. They let women on for free. And I'm chatting with this dude, and I start asking him, like, you ever fuck a goat? Just messing with the guy. And he goes, I'm going to find you. I'm going to cut you. Bank on it. I'm going to find you. I'm going to cut you. We got scared, but obviously there's no way that the guy would have found us. But it was scary.
Nowadays they'd be able to.
Yeah, he's gonna watch this video and find you.
Yeah.
There you are.
He's probably not.
It's been
I told
30
you I was
years.
gonna find you.
Told you. I'm going to cut you. Sounded like Hank Williams Jr., so maybe it was Hank Williams. Jeff, where was it that it was here. We were watching a PBS marathon one, the PBS telethon one night.
Oh, where you pledged the cat poop?
No, we just kept calling them and when we would make sure we were talking to the person they were showing on camera and say, cat poop. We'll pledge some cat poop. And that made Jeff and I laugh. And then we tried it up north in Pennsylvania and we picked the phone back up and they were still on.
Yeah.
I'm like, oops. Well, I think we're running out of time. Isn't it funny that we don't even have to plan these, that we can just have a fun half-hour conversation?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, Roby.
Yeah,
Yes,
Roby.
Roby. And anyone else?
Yeah,
watching?
Roby, thanks.
Yeah, and anybody else who's hiding and lurking in the shadows. Lurking in the shadows. All right, everybody. Have a great night, week, or whatever's going on while you're watching this, if you watched it all the way to the end.